Hello, Rama Pupodu. Hope all are in good health, feeling great, wonderful, having a happy and peaceful life. Now, let's continue with the devotee Muruganar. During Bhagavan's last days, Muruganar composed a poem every day, ending with Bhagavan, you should live 100 years. Muruganar then trained a devotee, Padma Venkataraman, to sing these every evening in Bhagavan's presence. She told me one day, Muruganar was very particular about correct pronunciation and using his exact words. One day, the song she sang had the words Jnana, Bandara, Nayaka, which in Tamil means the custodian of the treasury of wisdom. While singing with emotion, she involuntarily sang Bokisham, which also means treasury, instead of Bandara. As soon as the singing was over, Bhagavan told an attendant, go and ask her if Muruganar used that particular word. Bhagavan knew Muruganar's style so well that he knew that Muruganar would not have used the word Bokisham there. The relationship between the Guru and the disciple is such that they are the same heart of being. All the devotees were distraught because Bhagavan was going to drop the body. They wondered what they would do without him physically before them. Under Muruganar's leadership, they sent a mission to Bhagavan to ask him for a message. Did Bhagavan not know what they were asking for? His last words were, put the teachings into practice. It was Muruganar who elicited from Bhagavan the direct teaching of wisdom through the three treatises mentioned earlier, and it was he who brought out Bhagavan's last message of putting the teachings into practice. Muruganar had written many verses on I am not the body, yet when Bhagavan dropped the body, he could not contain his grief. Since 1956, I grew quite close to Muruganar. I had completed my graduation and remained for 2 years in the ashram. I observed Muruganar, Devaraja Mudaliyar, Munagala Venkataramaya, and a few other old devotees like Sub-Registrar Narayana Iyer. I was taken in by their pure living. When I came back in 1960, this helped me dedicate myself to these old devotees. I could begin to see the depth of their understanding. Muruganar was still begging, though he did not go to the town. He would come just before lunchtime to the ashram, extend his upper cloth in front of the kitchen, and the cooks would put a little food in it. I observed his movements, so silent and beautiful. On one of those occasions, I had a small camera. Swami, I called out. As he turned and looked at me, I snapped a picture seen at the beginning of this chapter. Muruganar blessed me, even though he reprimanded me later, saying, don't do it again. Vishwanatha Swami told me, a scolding from great sages is much more powerful than their blessings. When Muruganar visited Bhagavan's Samadhi, since he was completely lost in meditation, his movement was almost poetic. I once asked him, Muruganar Swami, what is your attitude when you come and prostrate here? There is only Bhagavan, there is nothing else. He replied, for him, there was only Bhagavan. No Muruganar, no Ramana Ashramam, not even prostration. Bhagavan was everything. Everything else was not. I didn't know about Muruganar's two stupendous works then, Ramana Samadhi Murai and Guru Vachaka Kovai, both edited and approved by Bhagavan. I had brought Muruganar into the ashram and was looking after him with some other friends. My sister would sing some of his songs and he would often asked her to sing those from Ramana Murai, hearing which he would be reduced to tears. On enquiring about the reason for his tears, he replied, I was in the presence of Bhagavan one day and he was looking at a girl child intently. I asked him, who is this baby who has received so much of your grace and blessings? Bhagavan replied, do you not know? இது நம்ம Lakshmi. This is our Lakshmi. Muruganar then again shed tears and said that when Bhagavan uses the word our, it implied a shared spiritual experience. I asked him to tell me more about Ramana Murai, which it was privately published. The management refused to sell it in the ashram. Many incidents of protest took place. It is good that you are not aware of them, he recalled. But I want to tell you this. One day I was very upset about this when I prostrated before Bhagavan. When I stood up, Bhagavan said, have no worry, we will publish it ourselves. I ran back to the office and tried to get a copy of Ramana Murai, but couldn't find it. It wasn't available in the library either. I spoke to some devotees in Chennai and got a copy of Ramana Murai and had it printed. When I presented it to Muruganar, his eyes moistened as he gratefully said, look, Bhagavan has fulfilled his prophecy. This happened a few weeks before he passed away. Then he told me about Guru Vachaka Kovai, a book which had the Guru's sayings and which was edited and titled by Bhagavan himself. With great enthusiasm, Guru Vachaka Kovai was also brought out by the ashram at its prestigious publication. My heart beamed with joy that Bhagavan's assurance, we will publish it ourselves, was thus successfully fulfilled. When Muruganar was dying, the doctors said he was in a coma. Dr. Hugo Meyer sent word, his breathing will stop any moment. Come here quickly. It was 3 in the morning. I stood close to Muruganar. Hugo and the other doctors told me, he is in coma. He is not going to respond to you. No, I will sing Arunachala Akshara Ramana Malai. I said firmly. Despite their repeated objections, I leaned close to Muruganar and whispered into his ear, Swami, I want to sing Akshara Manamalai. The body was still, but his eyebrows went up. This was witnessed by Hugo and the other doctors. Maybe they were right too. The body was in coma, but the heart, in its state of spiritual ecstasy, responded out of compassion by making the eyebrows move. We all sang Akshara Ramana Malai continuously. In a state of spiritual ecstasy, Muruganar merged with Arunachala. We took Muruganar's body and interred it. His Samadhi shrine is situated in between Arunachala and Bhagavan's old hall. We have to pay homage to this great poet sage because whatever we are now practicing and experiencing in the self, he already proved through his living example. The story of Muruganar is a never-ending one because he is eternal. This knowledge of self is itself immortal. It has no beginning and no end. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Pupoda.